What is going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound. We're going to be breaking down the NHL action going down on Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. Now, just a reminder, if you haven't already, smash that like button for us and make sure that you're subscribed. Helps us out a ton, and we really appreciate our love and support. Past 100 million views here on our YouTube channel. Now we're on the hunt for 150. But again, could not have done it without you guys' love and support, so thank you so much for that. If you haven't already, check out Pick Dawgz Premium if you're looking for my best bets on the board. Those are the games I love the most. We are only a couple days away from Christmas. I want to put some money in your pocket, give you guys my gift to you in the form of some free pick winners. But if you, like I said, if you're looking for the best bets on the board, that's the place to find them. Tons of daily plays for Saturday's card, plays that I absolutely love, whether it's just daily pass or a long-term pass. It's just the best way to go over there. Long-term passes, you can pair me up with any of your other favorite handicappers, or we can just go solo one-on-one. We can make you some money that way. But you know what? Doesn't change the fact that, hey, we still got a 14 game NHL card to deal with on Saturday. The last card before we get a 3-day break for the holidays. Pick things back up on the 27th. But hey, it's still Saturday. You know the drill. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game on Saturday's card takes us to the Bridgestone Arena, where the Nashville Predators take on the Dallas Stars. And, you know, Dallas has won 4 straight in this matchup, so I can understand why they're favored on the road. They played their better hockey on the road this season. But I would have a lot easier time making a case for Dallas right now had they won some of the meetings this season. These two teams haven't met since last year. And Dallas, well, they've won 4 of their last 5, but a lot of those games have been dicey. Their last 3 games have all gone to overtime with a final score of 4-3. And I think that Nashville's just right now playing the better hockey. They've won 8 of their last 10. They're at home, where they're playing their better hockey all season. They're 11-7 at home this season compared to 8-7 on the road. And we're getting plus money with them in their own building, like I said, where they've had a ton of success. So, you know, while I do like the Dallas Stars right now, until I see Jake Ottinger cleared up on the injury report, he is still listed as out indefinitely from what I've been seeing. Until I see Ottinger clear up and take the crease for Dallas, going to keep going the other way when we're getting favorable prices and favorable spots. So give me the Nashville Predators at plus money. Next, we had the Amerant Bank Arena for a Stanley Cup Finals rematch between the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. First meeting between these two teams since that 5-game series back in June of last year. And the Vegas Golden Knights in plus money is tempting, but I have to think that this game has been circled on Florida's calendar since that 9-3 loss in the deciding Game 5 last year. You know, Florida, they're not playing well right now. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They've scored 1 goal or less in all 4 of those losses. But the Vegas Golden Knights, they're not playing well right now either. They've lost 3 of 4. They've given up 19 goals in that 4-start stretch, 5 or more goals in each of the 3 losses. And they've lost back-to-back games to start this road trip against Carolina and Tampa Bay. I think that the Florida Panthers, like I said, I think they've had this spot circled on their calendar since the schedule was released. I gotta think that Vegas is in a little bit of trouble here. I'm gonna take the Florida Panthers on the money line in this one. Now we head to the XL Energy Center, where the Minnesota Wild take on the Boston Bruins. And the Boston Bruins, never thought I'd catch myself saying this about Boston, but are they actually human? Are they mortal? I mean, this team's now, you know, coming into this one, you know, losers of, I believe, 3 in a row. And they've lost 4 of their last 5. They scored 1 goal in 3 of those 4 losses, and 1 goal in 4 of their last, in 4 of their last 7. And, you know, it's getting a little bit concerning for Boston. I mean, they're 9-4-3 on the road, a little, again, like I said, mortal. And Minnesota, they've done a good job starting to turn things around. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. The goal scoring's been there. The defense has been there. It just seems like it's all clicking for Minnesota right now. And, you know, I know head-to-head, Boston, you know, has had the better part of the success in this matchup, but these two teams just met just a few nights ago. Back on December 19th, it was a 4-3 win in overtime for the Wild in Boston. I think they could win both meetings here. I'm going to take the Minnesota Wild at plus money in this one. Now we're off to the Nationwide Arena, where the Columbus Blue Jackets take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And don't at me as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I know the goaltending is a problem right now. I mean, this Toronto team just got shellacked by the Buffalo Sabres. No, I just have no answer for that. I mean, they've given up 14 goals in their last 2 games. They've given up 5 goals or more in 3 of their last 4. All those games, funny enough, I guess not funny enough, wouldn't be surprised. All losses to the Sabres, Rangers, and Blue Jackets. Now, we've also seen Toronto have games where they've scored 7 goals in their last 5. That just think about that for a second. You've had 5 games. 3 of those you've given up 2 or 5 or 3 of those you've given up 5 or more. The other 2 you scored 7 goals. So I have no idea what I'm trying to figure out with this Toronto team right now. But if you can have 11 goals in the last meeting between these two teams, which was a 6-5 overtime win for the Columbus Blue Jackets, you can have a heck of a lot more goals here. I doubt that Toronto's going to fall behind 5-0 in this game like they did in that first meeting, but it wouldn't be surprised me if they gave up the first goal again. This is a Toronto team that's been giving up 4 or more goals at home pretty much almost every game this season. So why would I expect anything different even if they take this one out on the road? I'm going to go with the over 6.5 here. I think we got an abundance of goals coming once again in this one. Now we're heading to the Prudential Center where the New Jersey Devils take on the Detroit Red Wings. And the Detroit Red Wings coming into this one on the second half of the back-to-back in a game that we had on the wraparound yesterday. They probably should have lost, if we're being honest here. I mean, I was ticked off. It was my one hockey play on the premium side yesterday was the Philadelphia Flyers. They were down 5-1 to the Red Wings after the first period. Fought all the way back, took a 6-5 lead, and then Detroit tied it and won the game in a shootout. Doesn't change the fact that they've given up 6 goals once again. They've given up 15 goals over the course of their last 3 games. So I think they could give some up here. New Jersey, on the other hand, has given up at least 3 in each of their last 4 games and 3 or more in 5 of their last 6. You have 2 teams that have each hit the over in 20 of their respective games this season. For Detroit, it's 20 of 33. For New Jersey, 20 of 31. I think it's going to be another high-scoring game here between these two teams head-to-head. You know, a lot of the recent meetings necessarily have been high-scoring. You know, you had 4-0 in the last meeting in Detroit back on November 22nd, but prior to that, 7 goals, 6 goals, 8 goals, 7 goals, 8 goals. So I think we got some high scoring coming again in this one. I'm going to take the over 6 between the Devils and the Red Wings. Up next, we head to the Canadian Tire Center where the Ottawa Senators take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And man, the Ottawa Senators, for whatever reason, right now just cannot seem to get out of their own way. And it's frustrating, especially if you're an Ottawa fan. This team had so much promise coming into this season, and they've done so well at home for the most part. But now you look, their backs are up against the wall. They've lost 6 straight games in 7 of their last 8. The goaltending has been an issue. They've given up 4 or more goals in all 7 of those losses in that 8-game stretch, and obviously each of the 6 games during this current losing stretch. Now, the majority of those losses did come on the road, but it doesn't give you any momentum coming back home on a 6-game losing streak. And now all of a sudden, that home record that was so good for the Senators last year and was something to build on, was a nice building block for them coming into this year. They're now 8-9 at home this season. The Pittsburgh Penguins, not much better on the road, 7-7-2, but they've won 4 of their last 5 games. I simply trust their goaltending more right now, and I trust them to get the job done here. You know, head to head, it's been split. The Penguins have won 6 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams, but right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Penguins here. We're getting the better price. I'm not laying juice with the team just because just because they're due. I don't believe in backing any team because they're due. I'm also going to look at the over 6.5 here. Like I said, I think the goal scoring issue is very, very prevalent for the Senators right now. So give me the over and give me the Penguins at near even money. Now we head to the Capital One Arena where the Washington Capitals take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, you know, I get why the Tampa Bay Lightning would be favored here. They're, you think of the Lightning and you just automatically assume them with the Tampa Bay Lightning teams of old. The teams that, were dominant, through the regular season, that would dominate through the Stanley Cup playoffs. And, they'd be one of the best teams in the NHL year after year. But right now, it just doesn't feel like that's the same Tampa Bay team. Sure, they've won 6 of their last 9 games. They're playing fairly well. But the bulk of that success has come at home, where Tampa Bay is 10-3-3 this season. On the road, they've been a completely different team. 6-10-2. Now, some of that had come when Andrei Vasilevsky was still on the shelf. But since Andrei Vasilevsky made his return in that 8-2 win for the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Carolina Hurricanes about a month ago, the Tampa Bay Lightning have lost 6 of their last 8 road games since. Now, have all those been started by Vasilevsky? Not necessarily, but it doesn't change the fact that the Tampa Bay Lightning are losing those games, and they're going up against a Washington team that is flying under the radar, in my opinion. 17-9-4, for the Capitals this season. Doesn't feel like they've been playing that well up to this point, but they're also 9-4-2 at home this year. They've won 3 straight games coming into this one. The goal scoring's been an issue. The goals haven't been as coming as of late. 2.4 goals per game in their last 10. But hey, if the defense is being effective, Doesn't matter as long as you score more than one, right? So give me the Washington Capitals in this one at plus money. I think the value is all on the Caps in this game. Next, we're heading to Madison Square Garden, where the New York Rangers take on the Buffalo Sabres. And this is a bit of a tricky matchup here because I do like the New York Rangers, but I'm just not a fan of this price. Even with them at home, they are one of the NHL's best teams. But Buffalo has won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two teams. They've split in the 2 meetings this year, with the road team winning both meetings so far. And the Rangers, they're on the back-to-back here. They just had a bit of a track meet with the Edmonton Oilers. They lost that game 4-3, snapping their 3-game win streak. And now they've got to pick it back up against a Buffalo team that just put 9 past Toronto on Thursday night. So which Buffalo team are we going to see here? But you look at the other side of the coin. Buffalo also gave up 9 goals the game before that against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I'm not a fan of the Buffalo Sabres defense in general either. So rather than try to mess around with the side here, I do lean towards the Rangers on the puck line and force to pick a side. But I'm going to go with the over 6.5 here. Buffalo's goaltending has allowed 12 goals in their last 3 games. The Rangers, even though they have one of the better goaltending duos in Quick and Shesterkin, I think we're going to see Igor Shesterkin here. Shesterkin's been prone to giving up goals here and there as well. He gave up 6 against Toronto. He's even though he only gave up 2 in the rematch against Toronto, he still had his offense put 5 on the other side. So I think we're going to see at least 7 goals in this game, maybe 8 or even 9. So I'm going to go with the over 6.5 in this one. Now we're heading to the PNC Arena, where the Carolina Hurricanes take on the New York Islanders, and a Metro Division rivalry head-to-head in this one. And this one goes back to their playoff series last year. It was a series that the Carolina Hurricanes ended up winning in 6 games, but that hatred still carried over into the regular season this year. A pair of 1-goal games to start the year. Now 3 straight overtime games if you take back to the series deciding game in April of last year. And these two teams, like I said, they play each other tough. The New York Islanders, they played to a lot of overtime as of late. 5 of their last 9 games have needed more than 60 minutes. They played 6 1-goal games in that stretch. Carolina, on the other hand, have played 3 games that have gone past 60 in their last 4. 4 of their last 5 have been 1-goal games, and even 6 of the last 8 as well. So I'm going to go with the Islanders here plus the 1.5. I think at worst, I think it's another 1-goal win for Carolina. But you may have to pay a little bit of juice for it. But hey, I'd rather have the plus 1.5 in my back pocket than try to pick a side here and get skunked out by a goal. So give me the Islanders here plus the 1.5 in this one. Now we head to the Honda Center, where the Anaheim Ducks take on the Seattle Kraken, and 2 teams that could really, really, really use a win right now. And I have a hard time getting there with either one of these teams, if I'm being honest, because the Seattle Kraken, sure, they can win a road game here and there, and pick up a victory over the LA Kings like they did on Thursday night. But the reality is that they're still one of the least profitable teams on the road in the NHL this season, and one of the least profitable overall in general. On the other side, the same can be said for the Anaheim Ducks, who actually have a worse record at home, 5-11, than they do on the road, 7-9. So rather than try to mess around and pick a side here and hope for the best between 2 teams that I really just don't want to back, I'm going to take the under 6.5, and that's not me commending the goaltending or the defense. That's just me saying that both of these offenses flat out stink, and I just don't think we're going to have enough goals in this one. If I had to pick a side, I'd maybe lean towards Anaheim for the value, but really, realistically, I'm not. This is probably the game on the board that I want nothing to do with. It's at the bottom of my totem pole. So give me the under 6.5, if nothing else, in this game. Now we head to the Enterprise Center, where the St. Louis Blues take on the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Blackhawks coming into this game on the second half of the back-to-back, getting rung up by Montreal on Friday night by a final count of 5-2. And I don't like backing this team at the best of times on the second half of a back-to-back, but especially here after they just got their teeth kicked in. And now they got to take on a St. Louis Blues team that's starting to pick it up again. They've won 3 of their last 4 after a bit of a rough stretch, entering the month of December and through the early part of December. Chicago, on the other hand, the goaltending continues to be an issue. They've lost 5 of 6. They've gotten rung up on the puck line by 2 or more goals in 4 of those 5 games. Like I said, the goaltending, given up 4 or more goals in 5 of their last 6 outings as a whole. To me, this is just a mismatch. I think the St. Louis Blues come in, take care of business, and really stick it to the Blackhawks here. I'm going to go with the St. Louis Blues on the puck line in this one. Now we head to the Ball Arena where the Colorado Avalanche take on the Arizona Coyotes. And, the thing for me with the Arizona Coyotes is that, yes, we've seen them and we kind of know their story this whole season is that they've been a much stronger home team than they have been on the road. On the road this season, they're just 6-8-2, while the Avalanche 13-4 at home this season. The thing is, though, is that the Colorado Avalanche are still, they're looking mortal in their last few games. They've split their last 10. They are coming off a 6-4 win at home over Ottawa, and they beat San Jose 6-2. You look at some of their recent home wins: Ottawa, San Jose, Buffalo. Teams have all been struggling, but the Arizona Coyotes, they're feeling a little bit froggy right now. They've won 4 straight. Now, again, you can't necessarily, you have to kind of call into question the level of competition that they've played. They've played a lot of the same teams Colorado has: 2 against San Jose, Ottawa, Buffalo. But it's got Arizona building up some confidence right now. And head-to-head between these two teams, Arizona's actually won 4 of the last 7 meetings. A bunch of these have been 1-goal games. The last 2 meetings have been 1-goal games, including the meeting on November 30th in Arizona. That was a 4-3 win for the Coyotes in that game. You had another another game on March 11th. So if you go all the way back, that's 6 1-goal games in the last 9 meetings between these two teams. I think the Coyotes hold some value here. So I'm going to take the Coyotes plus the 1.5 goals. I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line here at plus 176. Now we head to the Crypto.com arena where the Los Angeles Kings take on the Calgary Flames. And, I went back and forth on this game because I like the Los Angeles Kings. I like what they've done this season, but I really like what they've done on the road. At home, they're still a mediocre 5-6-3. And, I don't know if they should be laying this kind of juice, but I also don't love backing the Calgary Flames. That being said, the Calgary Flames have won 3 straight. They've only allowed 3 goals in those 3 games, so they're playing solid defense. The LA Kings have got solid goaltending as well. They're only allowing 2.34 goals per game this season. I think this is where I'm going to have to shift back towards the total. I like the under 6 in this one. I expect this to just be a hotly contested game, very physical. These two teams don't like each other, so yeah, I'm going to take the under 6 in this one, what I think could be another 3-1 kind of game. So give me the under. Our last game on Saturday's card takes us to Rogers Arena where the Vancouver Canucks take on the San Jose Sharks. The San Jose Sharks have done a decent job at turning their season around from a really rough start on the road. Started 0-11, both on straight up, I believe it was straight up and on the puck line before getting their first victory or cover on the road. And they've still won 3 games on the road this season, picked up points in 4 of them, but that's 4 of 17 games. Still 3-13-1 on the road this season. And the San Jose Sharks, so I guess old habits die hard. They've now lost back. They're back to losing 4 straight games. They've been outscored 16-5 in those 4 games. They've scored 1.25 goals per game, 2 goals or less in all 4 games of the losing streak. Now they head to Vancouver against a Canucks team that is, they've definitely taken a step back a little bit from their where they ran roughshod through the first few weeks of the season. But have they really dropped off that much? I mean, they're still 7-1-2 in their last 10 games. The 2 games on their recent road trip, they both took to OT or a shootout. So right now they're riding an 8-game point streak. And look at what they did in the homestand before the road trip. Sure, they lost to the Jersey Devils 6-5. But after that, they shut out the Minnesota Wild, won 2-0. They beat the Carolina Panthers 4-3, and then beat the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers on the puck line in those games to close out the homestand. I just don't. Obviously, I don't think the Sharks are on the level of the Canucks. I don't even think they're on the level below the Canucks right now. The Canucks are just the far better team here. They have flat out owned the Sharks in this matchup in the past, and I got to go back to the well thinking that they do it again. I'm going to take the Vancouver Canucks on the puck line to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. But just a reminder again, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also make sure you hit that notification bell in the description of this video so you get notified when all the newest and freshest content drops here at Pick Dawgz. Make sure to check out our betting tools at Pick Dawgz if you're looking for some free betting tools. But while you're also there, check out Pick Dawgz Premium if you're looking for my best bets, and also make sure to let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Happy holidays. We'll see you guys in the 20.